Hey guys, we're looking at Bandit from Overthewire. So we'll try and attempt and solve all of these levels one by one. So let's go ahead and take a look. The first level of Overthewire Bandit is basically to log into SSH. So they've given us the domain that we have to connect to, or the host name that we have to connect to, and the port address along with the username and password. So the first level is basically to learn how to connect through SSH. So let's do SSH bandit 0 and given the domain name or the host name and the port number host to which given the password bandit 0 and we are in. So we are logged into bandit 0. Let's clear the screen. Let's see what we have. We have a file called readme. Let's read the file. The readme file is giving us an output. Seems like a string, so this might be needed later. So let's go ahead and look into 0 to 1. How do we progress from 0 to 1, right? So the 0 to 1 level basically says the password for the next level is stored in a file called readme, which we have just read. In the home directory, use this password to log into Bandit1 using SSH. So this is the password for the next user called Bandit1. So we might have to log out and log in as a different user to find something useful. So once we log in, we have to do something very similar. So let's do exit and let's go ahead and do SSH and all that. And I just want to change the 0 to 1. So it's going to log into Bandit1 and it's going to ask us the password. Paste in the password, hit enter. Now we are logged into Bandit1, right? So we logged into Bandit1. There is something called the dash. So let's see how we can go from level 1 to level 2. We are already in level 1. We can check that by running who am I and Bandit1, right? So this one particularly says the password for the next level stored in a file called dash located in the home directory. So we might have to read this file. So if I do cat dash, it does not work. I would do control C to quit. So if you look into the man page of cat will tell us how we can read different files. For example, does it not have it? Okay, for example, what happens is if you have a file with spaces, you would enclose it with quotations. If you have a file with strings, also you can do the same, so on and so forth. So if we enclose it with quotations, it still does not work. So let's do cat dot slash. Dot slash is to mention the current directory, which is the relative path, the absolute path, sorry, the absolute path. And then it's going to spit out the the password, right? So let's exit again. Now one thing that I don't like doing is using this password, trying to log in over and over again. So what we can do is let's go ahead and find a program that will make it easier for us. So yeah, so I wanted to use this program called SSHER. This is a really good utility that basically allows you to save multiple profiles. So let's go ahead and do the installation. And the prerequisite for this is that it requires SSH pass. So apt install SSH pass is going to install SSH pass. I've installed SSH pass already. Now let's go ahead and install the SSH here. Let's do npm install -d SSH here. Now SSHER is going to allow us to save some profiles. So we have it installed. SSHER, you just run it. It's going to give you a list of stuff. So one thing that you can do is you can add a new profile. Now you can see I've already, okay, let's actually go ahead and add a new profile. SSHER add. So this is going to ask us a bunch of questions. So if I do something like given a profile identity, so let's actually go ahead and grab the password from the previous level. Let's do bandit 0, bandit 0 login. Let's get the readme file. so it's going to be easier for me to explain, right? So let's go ahead and run SSHER add. Let's call this as bandit1. Bandit1 is the profile name that I wanted to give. The host address, so it's asking for the host address, which is bandit.labs.overthewire.org, and the port number that we need to connect to is 2220, and the username is bandit1, and the password. Let's paste in the password. Now we can see this profile is saved. If I do SSHER and if I do SSHER list, it's going to list all the profiles. Now we can see there is a profile called Bandit1. All I have to do is SSHER Bandit1, connect Bandit1, given the name of the profile. It's going to directly connect to that profile. So now we are connected into Bandit1. This is a really good way of managing SSH profiles. So let's go ahead and do the same for the next level. Let's grab this password. Let's exit out of this SSHER. Let's do add, and let's given the name of the profile is bandit2, bandit.labs.overthewire.org. Let's given the server 2220. Let's given the username bandit2, and let's paste in the password. So now we have bandit2 user saved. SSHER connect bandit2. Now that's going to connect to bandit2. So now we are in bandit2. Let's see how we can move from bandit2 to bandit3 and what are the requirements. The requirements is pretty simple. The path for the next level is stored in a file called spaces in the file name located in the home directory. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now if I do cat spaces in this file name, it won't work because cat interprets each word as a different file. So one thing that I can do is you can enclose it within the quotations, or you can do tab autocomplete. Both is going to work. Now let's go ahead and grab the password, exit out of this, SSHER add a new profile, bandit3 bandit.labs.overthewire.org, 2220 is the port, bandit3 is the username, and then the password. So now we have the next user added. Let's do SSHER list and SSHER connect bandit3. So it's going to try and connect to bandit3. Let's see. Connection refused. Bandit. Okay, so all right. So we got the hostname wrong. The configuration file SSHER list. All right. Config file path. So let's look at the config file path. So here is a configuration file. Let's go ahead and edit the configuration file. So if I wanted to add it, I can just add it in this configuration file to make it easier. So next time, let's do that. Rather than adding everything manually, let's edit the configuration file. So it's going to make our job easier. In fact, what I wanted to do is, all right, so let's actually go ahead and yank all this stuff, enter visual mode, yank all that stuff. Let's go ahead and paste that. Now, whenever I wanted to log in to the new user, all I have to do is update this password, right? All I have to do is update this password, which will come back and update, right? And we'll keep doing this for the new profiles that we get, right? So let's go ahead and do SSH here, connect bandit 3. What happened? Let's read the config file. Okay, so we missed a comma. So there should be a comma. Hope it works. Yeah, it works. So it connects to bandit 3. There is a folder called in here. Let's see how we can move from bandit 3 to bandit 4. Alright, so the password for the next level is stored in a hidden file in here directory. So we have to find what is in the hidden file. So ls does not really show the hidden files. If we do ls-la, we have a file called .hidden. So let's move into .hidden directory. Okay. Oh, it's not a directory, it's a file. So let's read the file called hidden, and then we have the password. So let's grab the password, exit out of this, and let's edit the configuration file. So all I have to do is update that, and I'll also create a new one for the next level that I'll be playing, right? Yank that, go ahead, put a comma, and then paste all the stuff. Change the name to Bandit 5. Password needs to be updated. Alright, I'll come back and update the password later. Okay, let's go ahead and do connect to Bandit 4. Bandit 4 connected. There is again a folder called in here. So let's look into 4 to 5. The password for the next level is stored in the only human readable file in the here directory. So there is a human readable file. We need to find what that human readable file is. So there are a bunch of files. So if I try and read one file, let's say file. Alright, so let's say /file 00. It has a junk character. So one way to do is run the file command. File command is going to tell us what type of file it is. Oh, it's file. It says data. Data is not human readable. We need to find the human readable ones. So what I'll rather do is I'll do /star. Star is basically going to run the file command on everything. So you can see there are a bunch of data files except for one which says ASCII text, which is most likely human readable. So which is file 7. Let's go ahead and read file 7. And there we go. We have the password. Let's just exit out of that. And let's do vim. And I want to update the password for user 5. And then I'll also edit the configuration file. I'll create a new user. Enter visual mode, yank it, paste it, and that should be fine. Let's go ahead and change the profile to 6. Once logged into 6, I probably have to change the password for the 6th one. So SSHER, let's connect to 5. We should be able to connect. Let's list, move into in here directory. There are a lot of folders. Let's see what we have to do. So 5 to 6. The password for the next level is stored in a file somewhere under the in here directory and has all the following properties. Human readable 1033 bytes, not executable. Alright, so there are multiple directories in here, and okay, that is a file, not a directory. Let's read maybe in here. Where am I exactly? Okay, all these are directories, then why did it not list? Cannot access, maybe in here. Okay, all right, so we have it's associated with the number. Okay, 00 has a bunch of files. 01 has a bunch of files, 02 has a bunch of files, 03 has a bunch of files, and there are 19 directories in such way. So we have to find the file, and let's actually do man find, because we have all the parameters. Human readable, so it's an ASCII file. We know it should be an ASCII file, 1300 bytes, not executable. So let's go ahead and do search for size. Okay, so we have to mention size. C is for bytes, W is for 2-byte word, K is for kilobyte, M is for megabyte, so on and so forth. So we can do dash size and mention the size with a C. Let's also search for executable, because it is non-executable, by the way. All right, so what happens? All right, so for executable, you would mention dash executable, I guess. All right, so let's actually go ahead and do find dot slash star dash size, which is 1033C dash executable. We need to put an exclamatory mark, so that is a not condition. And what is the issue? Event not found. All right, I think it should come here. What is the problem? All right, so let's actually do find only the size. Okay, there is one file in the size of 1033. I also want to see if that file is human readable or not. So we'll be basically running file on that file, which is ASCII text. However, I want to see what is non-executable. Executable, it should be exclamatory mark. Executable. All right, so I'm pretty sure we have to use an exclamation mark. Let's go ahead and see what I'm doing wrong. So let's do maybe with a space, not executable. All right, so that works. So the space was missing. That's what is the problem. I don't know. So let's go ahead and read the file. And then we have the password. So let's exit out of that. Let's do vim to the configuration file, and let's update the password for Bandit 6, and let's create a new profile for Bandit 7. Yank that. Paste that. Put in a comma. And that should be fine. I'll just change name to 7. So that's it. Once probably we log into Bandit 6, we'll get the credentials for Bandit 7, and we'll continue from there. So I'll catch you guys in another video.